Hi, welcome back to my channel. Yesterday I asked you all what kind of video you guys want me to do next, and I got some mixed answers. Unfortunately, I can't do a video for all the options I provided because I have a job and I need sleep. So by majority vote, I'm going to be chaotically recapping the 2023 Oscars ceremony. This year, Jimmy Kimmel hosted the Oscars. He's hosted twice before in 2017 and 2018, so this is his third time. As with every year, there's an opening monologue by whoever is hosting, and Jimmy comes flying in on a parachute, which I think really sets the tone for the monologue, if you ask me. He makes a lot of interesting jokes, the first being one of my personal favorites, which is about Nicole Kidman's AMC ad, which is one of her best works in my opinion. I think there's Big Little Lies, and then Moulin Rouge, and then it's the AMC ad.
I also want to say that I am happy to see that Nicole Kidman has finally been released from that abandoned AMC where she has been held captive for almost 2 full years now. It's good to have you back, Nicole. And thank you for encouraging people who were already at the movie theater to go to the movie theater.
And then Jimmy makes a joke about Ozempic.
When I look around this room, I can't help but wonder, is Ozempic right for me?
It's at this point that I know that Jimmy's going to choose violence with his jokes because he then calls Steven Spielberg and Seth Rogen the Joe and Hunter Biden of Hollywood. And this does get some laughs, but it also gets some oohs. But then it gets much worse.
I know people like to debate now which is better, movies or TV. But here's the thing, no matter how good a show is, there are some things movies could do that TV just can't. For example, a TV show can't lose $100 million. Is the gang from Babylon here? They know. Some of the cynics are saying Jim Cameron isn't here because he didn't get a Best Director nomination. And while I find that very hard to believe about a man of such deep humility, he does have a point. I mean, how does the Academy not nominate the guy who directed Avatar? What do they think he is, a woman?
And then for the rest of the night, starting with this monologue, Jimmy makes jokes about the slap.
So we have strict policies in place. If anyone in this theater commits an act of violence at any point during the show, you will be awarded the Oscar for Best Actor and permitted to give a 19-minute-long speech. With Michelle Yeoh before you get to me. You are going to have to beat the Mandalorian before you get to me. You are going to have to tangle with Spider-Man. You are going to have to...
Poor Andrew Garfield is like, why are you roping me into this? And then he finally ends his monologue with dancers dancing him off stage to Naatu Naatu. Pinocchio won for animated film, and Ke Huy Quan won for supporting actor. This made me so goddamn happy. Like, how can you not love this man?
Wow, thank you!
Then Jamie Lee Curtis won for supporting actress. Personally, I wanted either Stephanie or Angela to win because I thought their performances really were standout performances, but I'm really happy to see Everything Everywhere All at Once and all its actors sweep awards, so I am happy for Jamie. This, however, set a metaphorical fire on Twitter that prevailed throughout the rest of the night. For the next 3 hours, Twitter was only talking about how the other actresses in this category were robbed, and it was very chaotic, and I'm gonna leave that up to you guys to discuss respectfully in the comments. So throughout the night, nominees for Best Original Song usually at some point of the night perform their song. So after Jamie Lee Curtis wins her award, Sophia Carson gets up on stage and starts singing her nominated song Applause from the film Tell It Like a Woman, one of the most acclaimed films of 2022. She looks beautiful. Personally, I haven't heard the song before, but she sounds great. But you have to understand that the last time I saw Sophia Carson on my screen was when I watched Purple Hearts. And if you watched my video on it, you know how I feel about Purple Hearts. So at first when I saw her, I was like, what's happening? Then Jimmy comes back on stage and he makes yet another slap joke. I couldn't find the actual clip, but he reminds the audience to keep their hands to themselves, which does get some laughter, but I imagine that everyone who laughed looks like this. Novelty wins for documentary feature film, and then An Irish Goodbye wins for live action short film. And for part of the speech, everyone sings happy birthday to James Martin because it was his birthday, and it's some chaos, but it's wholesome chaos. Then we get a first look at the live action Little Mermaid. Now, I personally don't watch live action remakes for Disney films. I don't really particularly like them in general, so I don't watch them. However, Halle Bailey looks beautiful. She sounds beautiful. I'm so excited for her. But just look at this crap. Like, look at the live action Sebastian. It has lips. It literally has lips. All Quiet on the Western Front wins for cinematography, and then we get a performance of This Is a Life from Everything Everywhere All at Once by Sun Lux, David Byrne, and Stephanie Hsu instead of Mitski. The actual song is great, by the way, but the performance was a little out of tune.
Every possibility from destiny. I choose you, and you choose me.
But they brought Cam to the Oscars in an iconic way, like seeing David Byrne perform with sausage fingers and a raccoon visual on screen makes me feel like I'm tripping on psychedelics. But in a good way. The Whale wins for makeup and hairstyling, and then Jimmy comes back to entertain us all. He brought a donkey on stage from the Banshees of Inisherin, and it was at this point that the middle schooler in me started to rise from within, because all I could think about was all the potential ass jokes, 'cause it's a donkey. But anyway, this was clearly very random, but look how cute she is. Black Panther wins for Best Costume Design, as it should. Then Deepika Padukone comes out looking so respectfully mother. She looks so good, and she comes out to introduce the performance for Natu Natu, which could have had more South Asian dancers. But it was a sleigh. All Quiet on the Western Front won for Best International Feature Film, and then Elephant Whisperers won for Documentary Short. The Boy, the Mole, the Fox, and the Horse won for Animated Short. And then Lady Gaga performs her song Hold My Hand from Top Gun Maverick. And it was really good. Like, all I could think about is the Lady Gaga meme.
Talented, brilliant, incredible, amazing, show-stopping, spectacular, never the same.
And then Hugh Grant and Andie MacDowell come up on stage to give the award for production design, and then Hugh Grant calls himself a scrotum.
Still stunning, basically a scrotum.
We've moved on from wholesome chaos to self-deprecating chaos now. All Quiet on the Western Front then wins for production design and best original score. Now at this point I was scared because All Quiet on the Western Front was sweeping awards, and I was afraid that for best picture it would be a gnarly fight between this film and Everything Everywhere All at Once, and I was rooting for Everything Everywhere All at Once, so I was nervous. But Elizabeth Banks then comes up on stage to present the award for visual effects with someone dressed in a bear suit. This is off topic, but I really want to see Cocaine Bear, so if you've seen it already, let me know what you think about it in the comments. Anyway, Elizabeth Banks is clearly sick. She started speaking and I was like, is she okay? And then the bear is just bearing. It's actually choosing chaos a little because it's trying to flirt with some of the actresses from the stage. Visual effects goes to Avatar: The Way of Water, which a lot of people predicted. Then our favorite boy, Jimmy Kimmel, decides to come back and do some celebrity Q&A. And the first person he goes to is Malala. Yes, Malala is at the Oscars.
Ariana, what are you doing here?
And then the question he asks her is, do you think Harry Styles spit on Chris Pine? To which she uncomfortably replied, I only talk about peace.
Do you think Harry Styles spit on Chris Pine?
I only talk about peace.
I hope Florence Pugh had a glass of wine in hand for this. And then Jimmy makes an envelope gate joke and says the winner goes to Malala Land. Cocaine Bear comes back and chooses chaos and goes straight to Malala as a joke. I don't know if Malala is going to come back to the Oscars. Rihanna then performs Lift Me Up from Black Panther Wakanda Forever, which is amazing. Everything Everywhere All at Once then wins Best Original Screenplay, and Women Talking wins Best Adapted Screenplay. Jimmy Kimmel then jokingly asked if Robert Blake would be included in the Oscars memoriam and encouraged everyone jokingly to pull out their phones and vote on it. That was an interesting joke to make. Natu Natu won Best Original Song, and Top Gun Maverick won for sound design. Then John Travolta walks on stage, and I am hoping for another Adele Dazeem moment, but then he introduces the memoriam, and he's quite emotional about it, which is the exact opposite energy I was anticipating. Also, Lenny Kravitz performed for the memoriam, and when he finishes up, you can hear someone from the audience yell, "Thanks, Lenny." Put your guesses in the comments as to who that was, because I think that was Jamie Lee Curtis. Film editing goes to Everything Everywhere All at Once, which 5 people worked on in Adobe Premiere Pro? Are you kidding? Oh, to possess that talent. Then Nicole Kidman walks on stage with Idris Elba to present the award for directing. Besties, please stand for the AMC Pledge of Allegiance. Directing goes to the Daniels for Everything Everywhere All at Once, and they give an iconic speech starting by dedicating the award to the mommies, thanking all the mommies.
We want to dedicate this to the mommies, all the mommies of the world.
Best Actor goes to Brendan Fraser, which was really well deserved. Best Actress goes to Michelle Yeoh, again, really well deserved. And then Best Picture goes to Everything Everywhere All at Once, which I was super happy about because I would have been so sad if that didn't happen. But yeah, overall solid Oscar ceremony. We didn't get a slap level chaos. The most chaotic things that happened really had to do with Jimmy Kimmel. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Now you can go tell people that you know what happened at the Oscars. Like this video, comment what you liked or didn't like about the Oscars, socials are below, and subscribe to this channel if you haven't already.